Don't tell anyone I've already been here. But welcome to this episode of Bloodborne, though. Okay. As I mentioned in a previous episode, I already came here off camera because I forgot that we hadn't been here already. Oopsie daisy, my bad, sorry. But even so, we're gonna go on a guided tour of the Nightmare Frontier. That's what this place is called. Okay. So, there is still probably a couple of things I haven't picked up around here, and, you know, for the things that I did, I pretty much remember where most of it is, so we can swing by there anyway. Plus, there's still a boss to fight, and he's right... Whoops, wrong side of the touchpad. He's right there. He's invisible right now, but he spawns there, I promise. So we just gotta get down there, and actually, it wouldn't take very long because the shortcut's already open, but we're gonna take the scenic route. Oh, but we should also take a look at these boats. There's some boats sticking up out of the fog down there, which there's a level of verticality to all of the places in this game, because there are some other places where you can see these boats. It's kind of hard to explain, but you know, once we see them again, I can go into it a little further. For now, we'll just tuck that away in our back pocket. So, we've seen these silver beasts before in the Nightmare of Mensis. These guys are a little more innocuous in that they are not infected with... Are you infected with parasites? Is that the verb? Anyway, they don't have parasites, so you can just straight up kill them. No big deal. And he's totally dead. Okay, first item, right down there on that corpse. That would be some lead elixir, which we've picked up before. Okay, and more silver beasts down here. If you turn your back to me, I'm gonna stab it. Ah! That's true in real life too. That's not a metaphor. Anytime I see someone's back, the knife is going in it or something sharp. I've been to prison many times. Okay. So this is kind of the big Debbie Downer here. Oh, this is something I guess we haven't seen before. So I believe this is just called a crawler. But it's probably like one of the most Lovecraftian things in this game because it's almost nonsensical. But we'll get a closer look at those guys very shortly. So right here would be sort of a 2 NPC ambush, which I already disposed of. But it's not the most exciting thing in the world, I guess. You could kind of imagine in your mind's eye what it's like. There's one guy with like a threaded cane and another with a hunter's axe. Big whoop. And then up here, there is... Gotta jump this little gap here. Very deceptive. Up here there's a rune, which I guess I already picked up. And it basically reduces fire damage that you take. And the description is pretty much the same as Arcane Lake or Dissipating Lake or whatever. There's some fucking madman's knowledge there or something. right here, in that little hole there, there is a bell-ringing maiden who automatically spawns because it's a nightmare level. Same with the Nightmare of Mensis. If you're in a nightmare, there's a bell-ringing maiden. You have to get rid of her, otherwise you're fucked. In that some people can invade you. Otherwise, in the previous levels, you have to engage in multiplayer yourself. You know, like try to summon someone or ring some kind of. You have to ring some kind of bell basically before the maiden will show up. But in this level and the other nightmare levels, she just lets herself in. Alright, we'll come back to these boys. Ooh, I don't remember what this one is, but oh god, it's nothing terribly exciting. Yeah, he's a feisty one. Now this is pretty mean, this little wandering madness. He stops right there, and then if you attack him, try to pick up his item, then you won't be looking left at that. And you'll get straight up fucked. Usually enough to kill you, in my experience. Pretty fucked up. There's a lot of mean rock throwing in this level. Fucking this guy here. There's another one right up there. Oh! And the rocks have a weird lingering hitbox. Like, if I wasn't doing a backstab there, probably would have fucked me up. It lasts longer than you think. I don't know if there was another item over here. To be honest, there might have been. There's somewhere around here, and it might have been where we just were. But somewhere around here, there is a chalice. Oh, here it is. A cold blood flower bud. That's a chalice dungeon material needed to open a dungeon. Is that the first one I've picked up? No. But long story short, it's pale vegetation that commonly grows on cold blood in a place long ago abandoned, such as this one. I believe it is chiefly used to open up the dungeon, the chalice for which we are, oh my god, going to get from the boss of this area. I'm chilling behind this tombstone because that guy up there is throwing rocks. Okay. Anything over here? Nope. Oh, there might have been. Oh, there was. Son of a gun. Don't remember what. Again, I remember all the important stuff. And a few of the minor things. Like that lead elixir from the beginning. Alright, and this is sort of the first shortcut of the area. There's a little wandering madness that spawns here. He runs up, and you chase him onto this, and it's normally sort of sticking up horizontally. Once you put your weight on it, it falls over. God, I wish I had remembered. Oh, so this is an interesting little detail. This is on some of the tombstones in the dream as well. The ones that you use to warp between places. The tombstones have like split apart and they're bleeding, I guess. don't necessarily have a theory about that, but it really makes you think. So I forget if this is something we've seen before, but this is sort of a larger Wandering Madness that usually has more goodies, better goodies I should say, and actually attacks you back. You got this nasty tail swipe, you could kind of see it there a second ago. This guy just has twin bloodstone shards, which, I mean, once you get to this point in the game, even if you get here as early as possible, it's not something you go out of your way to get. Okay, crossing the bridge. In case you couldn't see it, I just wanted to let you know what was happening. So, you're welcome. So right here we got one boy here who throws rocks and then another one off in the distance. Just gonna go ahead and take care of this one. Oh, hey, I wasn't trying to stab you in the back or anything. No need to throw your fist around. That was awkward. Okay. Okay, so it just occurred to me that there was no game audio up to now. So I have fixed that, as you can probably tell. Okay, so this is one of those items I always pick up. It's a, is it clockwise or counterclockwise? Actually, I'm not sure. I think it's the clockwise metamorphosis that gives you HP, the 10% one. That's what this guy has. That's something I always get. The fuck out of here. Get at. Oh, almost got him. There we go. It's my ledge now. Okay. Oh? Is that a shining coin I see? Might as well investigate. Alright, well, something was supposed to happen there. Yo, you up? I think he's sleeping. Okay, so Patches was supposed to clamber on down and kick my ass off this thing. Maybe I've already triggered it. I don't know why the hell I would do that. But, well, this is awkward. Hey! Hey! Is he, like, out of range? What's going on? Can't aim up that high. There we go. Well, I guess you'll have to use your imagination for that one as well. Jesus. Anyway. Another little pathway up here. I always forget exactly where it is, but somewhere around here. Either up here or on, like, the lower path. There's a corpse with the, let's see. Stunning Deep Sea, which adds rapid poison resistance. And these are literally the exact same descriptions. But this one is like a blood echo item of some kind. Over here we've got a pit full of crawlers. Whoa! I believe these guys actually do rapid poison damage, so it kind of makes sense that the rune is nearby. Trying to bait a particular attack, but now that I think about it, it might only be the larger ones that do it. Let's see if I can find the corpse here. Oh, here we go. That's the one. Oh, one of them dropped some. Thick cold blood. Okay, I think I'm actually gonna have to turn my HUD on here because this area is laden with poison. So I gotta keep my eye on my health bar. Don't remember what this item is, unfortunately. Oh shit. Okay, well let's take care of this guy before we do anything else. That is I'm asking for trouble if I leave him sitting up there. Alright, bud, come on. Time for bed. Oh wow, that straight up kills him. Oh, never mind, it's just very close. Alright. I think there's a rune up here. This guy has something. Let's see. I know there's a slow poison resistance rune directly below. There's a little cavern. Oh wow. I rolled into that, or no, when I dropped onto that enemy. That was really interesting timing. I took damage from the fall, but at the same time I hit the enemy with my body's momentum, and that recovered a very small amount of health. So this guy right here has the slow poison resistance rune. Oh boy. Oh god. I died. Oh, there we go, right there. That's the attack I was trying to bait. See all those messengers down there? Interesting and perplexing little touch. Honestly not sure what to make of it. But hey, that's Bloodborne for you. There's not a lot else to this area. Oh, except for I gotta go to the place where the messenger's gift comes from. That's the item I was using to transform myself into what looks like a messenger player message thing. And it comes from deep within this particular cavern. I'm not gonna bother to fight everything just because I don't want to waste too many blood vials. There's a couple items here, nothing too exciting. Oop. So, somewhere around here is basically, I guess where those two corpses were, is where you get pushed down by patches. So, really puts you in a bad way. Got all these enemies around, there's a fucking poison swamp that you're stuck in. And if you wander this way, run into that son of a gun. And I'm probably gonna get frenzied. Yep. Okay, so here we are. This is the corpse that has the messenger's gift. I keep pressing the wrong thing. There you go. That's actually an arcane hunter's tool, so it does require a little bit of requires 1 silver bullet and 10 arcane. Pretty low. It might be the lowest requirement of arcane for one of the tools. But yeah, this basically allows you to walk around at a walking speed. You can't go any faster than that. If you try to sprint or roll or anything like that, attack, then it breaks the illusion. I remember the first time I saw this, I didn't even know about the item yet, because it was in the Nightmare of Mensis. Because, you know, you can get invaded even if you haven't summoned a partner or anything. So someone invaded me, and then I saw a little, you know, I saw that item being used, and at first I thought it was, you know, just a regular message. And then it started moving around. I was like, wait a fucking minute. I don't trust that. And now here we are. Oh, I didn't turn on my little lamp. There we go. This lamp is always on for me. Pretty much whenever I die, my first instinct when I come back is turn the light on. It's just a little bit of free illumination. Honestly, I'm a fan of the Demon Souls method, where you just always had a light on. Didn't even have to worry about it. But hey, different strokes for different folks, huh? Alright, so, other thing of import over here. There's a corpse up on that little rock pile that has some more cold blood flower bud. I'm saying that one fucking 2 times slowly. It's hard. Forget fast. The hell was I saying? I don't remember. Okay, so there's another winter lantern over here. I remember around whenever this game came out, the popular name for these things was it's either Mother Brain or Brain Trust, or maybe sort of using both interchangeably. But it turns out the actual name is Winter Lantern. So I think I think some people did some research and they found out that it's a flower used in some kind of ceremony in some country in a place with things and such. Clearly my brain didn't deem that important enough to remember. Okay, so if we come around this way, there's another one of the evolved Wandering Madnesses, and this one actually has a bloodstone chunk or 2. I think it's just 1. Either way, it's good for me. This guy has some shit. This drops you down into, I guess, another poison pit, or maybe that's a bottomless drop. I don't think I've ever actually dropped down in there. It's probably not good either way. Go down this way. I don't actually remember. What is this? Oh, some more lead elixirs. I almost never come down here. Another interesting thing to note, I guess. God damn it, I keep pressing the wrong side of the touchpad. I'm going to turn off the... Actually, I'll leave it on for now. So, this place has roots, which I guess are supposed to reach down to the ground. At least the big one in the middle, it kind of looks like it keeps going. Maybe it stops. It's kind of hard to say. But yeah, just some big old roots dangling off the bottom. A little bit of a closer look at the boats as well. What do you call that part that sticks up? I'm not a boatsman. Clearly. Also, I almost never bother with all the wandering madnesses around here. This is probably just... Well, that's gone. It's probably just a fucking bloodstone shard, honestly. Don't care. Oh! I just remembered what I was going to say a little bit ago. This lantern actually used to have a detrimental effect on your stamina. It would slow your stamina recovery down by a significant percentage. You know, in an early version of the game, like, you know, in the first month or so, I'd say. Ouch. So, you know, obviously people were hesitant to use it because, you know, this is a fast-paced game. I don't want to fucking slow down my stamina regen. And I suppose this was done because the clothing in this game has pretty much no effect on your stamina. You can wear or wield whatever you like, and your stamina regen is going to be pretty much exactly the same. But they eventually decided, whatever. You know, we'll just get rid of that little debuff. They either got rid of it or made it pretty much insignificant, because I haven't really noticed anything. Okay, so this is our shortcut to the boss, pretty much. It's like it's a very, very Lovecraftian elevator. And it takes you up to where that, near the corpse with the lead elixirs. He's right up there. Back up to the entrance here. Anyway, let's go back down. So there's another sort of poison pit over here that I believe goes fairly deep, and I don't really remember what's back there. Guess we'll find out. Down here there's another big ol' wandering madness with some bloodstone chunks. I always swing by here and grab those. Alright, what the heck is down here? Ah, Great Deep Sea. I forget what that one does. Ooh, all types of resistance. Okay, so that's like, you know, if you really want to stack up on resistance of one particular kind, you can add that as well. Oh god. This is a heckin' situation. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can fight the boss with 5 blood vials. Just give it a shot, you know? Okay. I think we've pretty much explored the level. Far as I can remember. That's pretty much everything. So, we will take the boss on. As I mentioned earlier, it spawns at the top of this tower. Which you should be able to see. Yep. There it is. Amygdala. Let's throw on some bolt paper. And we're still using the saw cleaver, so this should be pretty fucking cake. So the goal for this boss is basically to hit the arms and the head if you can. The head does the most damage. There are some legs at the back, which do have the benefit of always being on the ground, so you can always hit them. But you do way less damage on them. All told, this boss isn't that hard, although there is a Chalice dungeon variant, which is a lot stronger, I think. But also, it is in a dungeon where your health, excuse me, your health is halved, which, for obvious reasons, makes it more difficult. Okay, so we got the Ailing Loran Chalice from old Amy. Let's take a look here. This is a depth 4 chalice. A chalice that breaks a labyrinth seal, as all of them do. Loran is a tragic land that was devoured by the sands. The tragedy that struck this ailing land of Loran is said to have its roots in the scourge of the beast. Some have made the dreaded extrapolation that Yharnam may be next. So, unfortunately, the different chalices are basically just palette swaps. I mean, we've already seen the Hintertomb and Thumeru chalices. And those, honestly, those two are so similar, you'd be forgiven for not even really noticing a difference. But the Hintertomb chalice has a more, I guess you would say it's more purple, and there's more of an emphasis on poison. A lot more poison swamps and stuff like that. Loran chalice definitely looks more different. It's got a very brown look to it. There's sort of sand blowing around everywhere, but it's still ostensibly a palette swap. But it's probably my favorite one, and there are different enemies that are running around. There's a lot of silver beasts. It mentioned beasts in its description. There are definitely a lot more beasts in the Loran dungeons. But we'll go rooting around in there at a later time. There's actually a weapon in the first Loran dungeon, I think. A weapon unique to the Chalice dungeons, which is unusual. It's the only one. It's the only case where that happens. But we've got quite a few blood echoes right now, so I'll grab a level here.
Very well.
Oh, let's see. Trying to think. I think I'm gonna put another point in as strength here.
Farewell, good hunter. May you find your worth in the waking world.
I want to see if there's anything else I want to take care of while I'm here. Oh, you know what? While I was doing some preparation, I actually got a super unique dialogue from the doll. I have no fucking idea what triggers it. I don't know if anybody knows. I didn't bother to look it up. But there's a dialogue that the doll gives you just randomly when you enter the dream. She'll be standing over by this tombstone over here, and she will just say a prayer to herself. And I literally have not gotten this dialogue in years. I was starting to think that they had patched it out or something, because I just never fucking got it. And when I was a while ago, a few years ago, when I was trying to figure out what the trigger was, there were only theories and speculation. No one knew for sure. Maybe it's been figured out at this point. I don't know. Anyway, I'll play it now.
O Flora of the moon, of the dream. O little ones, O fleeting will of the ancients. Let the hunter be safe. Let him find comfort. And let this dream, his captor, foretell a pleasant awakening. Be one day a fond, distant memory.
So a couple things to note. She starts out referencing Flora, which is capitalized in the little subtitles. A lot of people speculate that this is the... Actually, I guess I can't say. I guess that would be a spoiler at this point. I will say that a lot of people speculate that that is the name of the final boss, because the final boss, well, I guess the optional final boss, because that boss does not have a name like that. It does have like a title, but people speculate that Flora is the actual name because it's capitalized and because the doll is praying to it. Some people say that I think I saw someone say that it's like a poetic thing to capitalize stuff like that. So people kind of go back and forth on that. I'm kind of ambivalent on it, but I would probably lean towards it being the name of the boss. Also, I'm just noticing this little seam in the skybox over here. Oopsie. She prays to the little ones and such. And it just really goes to show you that, the doll is looking out for you. She's saying, for God's sake, let the hunter get out of this situation that he is. We're basically trapped in this state, this dream, the nightmares, until we fulfill our contract that we were given at the beginning of the game to, halt the nightmare. She's saying, please let all this pass and let it be just a distant memory. Because, Gehrman, who we haven't seen in a while, he's stuck. He is stuck here to just be a guide for everyone else who passes through. Gehrman's tale is pretty tragic. Anyway, I think it's time to visit an old friend. I do miss Ariana. She gave good blood vials. All I'm left with is this dementia-ridden old lady. This babbling maiden to the church. And then this asshole. Ariana was nice. Anyway, what's the best route here? We're headed to the Grand Cathedral, where we fought Amy the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And there is a lantern there, but we actually can't use it right now. There are a couple of points in some NPC's quest lines where you can't use a particular lantern because there's an enemy, an enemy NPC sort of standing guard there. I think that's probably more of a gameplay consideration than anything else. They don't want you to get ambushed after warping to a lantern. Although there is another instance where that does happen. So, I don't know. Oh! I just got soul arrowed. That's another thing that I kind of goofed on. Gilbert, the guy who was in the first house that you can speak to, who sort of acts as the crestfallen warrior who tells you, where to go at the beginning. At the end, whenever the blood moon comes out and you warp to his house, he has broken out and has become a beast. Just a standard sort of, little beast enemy. And then he drops a claw mark rune for you, I think, if you kill him. Oh, here's Eileen. She does not look very good. What's going on? Also, let me turn off the HUD.
Oh. Is that you again? I'm afraid I've made a bit of a blunder. I'm just going to have a short rest. Though, don't worry. I've taken blood. Enough to save an old woman. No more dreams for me. This is my last chance. What a fool I am. I'll have to tread carefully. But that thing still lies in wait. Turn back. This is my score to settle.
Okay, so there's a lot there. First of all, she says, no more dreams for me. This is my last chance. So this kind of alludes to the idea that, there are other people who are in sort of a similar situation to you, and they have a contract to fulfill. And every time they are killed, they return to the dream, and then they can come back to wherever they need to go and try again. But at some point, their time runs out. They've died too many times, I suppose. And this sort of harkens back to like Dark Souls, where you have the undead who can be killed 1,000,000 times and come back. But at some point they do actually fully die, because there are corpses in Lordran. There are corpses that you pick stuff up from, and everybody in Lordran is undead, with the exception of like maybe one person or 2 or 3, only one that I can think of. But pretty much everybody in Lordran is undead, but there are still corpses around, so there is an end. Same case here. It seems like we can die an infinite number of times, but the meta is that once you stop playing the game, that's when your character dies, basically. And so that that applies to the other people who are in a similar boat to you as well, like Eileen, and I think Jura is another one, because he makes reference to the dream as well. And so she's saying, I'm at the end of my rope. I can't fuck this one up. But she still says, don't fight this fight for me. I have to take care of this myself. And, she has already said this before with Henrik. Earlier when we fought Henrik, she said, don't go through this area. I have a mark there. I have to take care of it. But we're just stubborn assholes. Yes. Just wait here. Don't waste your breath. So there is an enemy in here, as I said before, and she calls it a thing. She said that thing still lies in wait. Or something like that. But she said that thing. But it does appear to just be a human NPC. Wings spread out for whatever reason. There we go. Drop down. So this guy's also wearing the crowfeather garb. Or girl, I don't know. Crowfeather garb with the helm from Canehurst. Honestly, don't know what to extrapolate from that. I feel like it's kind of just a mishmash. And maybe they sort of had some loose backstory in mind whenever they created this character. But this is probably one of the harder enemies in the game overall. He's a tough son of a bitch. but we have easy mode unlocked. So let's see. I don't actually know what would be best to fight this guy. Hold on. I've actually got the guidebook. I'm going to open it up. I want to make this as easy as possible on myself. So the guidebook has, for every enemy, it has a breakdown of what their defenses are. And so I was just trying to figure out which of these would be best, and it turns out it's Bolt. Shwink. Let's go. So this guy's got a number of nasty tricks up his sleeve. The first of which being that gun. He's got a, I forget what it's called, but it fires 2 bullets at once, and so it... Oh no! Oof. So his gun technically has the highest damage output of any of the handguns, simply because it fires 2 bullets. It doesn't do like that much more damage than the Evelyn, which is sort of second in terms of damage output, but it only uses 1 bullet. And chewing through ammo like that is I really don't think it's worth it. Hey Eileen, I'm back. And as you saw, he also has the Hunter's Bone, I think it's called. Old Hunter Bone. So that allows him to move around faster as well. And if he staggers you, he will visceral attack your ass. This guy does not fuck around. Also, I don't know if this is actually what happened to me, but... Oh! God in heaven. Holy shit. I don't know if you noticed, but right at the end there, he fucking looked directly at the camera. Too spoopy. You can see why Eileen fell to this guy. Anyway, I don't know if this is actually what happened to me just now. Or earlier. But you can actually get staggered when you're healing. I think it's like basically right when the blood vial goes in. If you get shot, you can get staggered. So you gotta be extra careful. Okay. So, there is an exploit to fight this guy. A way to cheese him. If you... The weapon he's wielding has 2 modes, as we've seen. The two-handed mode drenches it in blood, like so. And it also chips away at the wielder's health. So... if you get him to activate it and then just kind of lead him around, then he'll eventually die from it. Whew! Gonna run out of bolt paper at some point. Whoa. He's so fast. Yeah, this enemy's hard as dicks. Oh! The, I don't know if I needed to heal there. The transform mode of this weapon uses Blood Tinge. It's one of the few weapons that scales with Blood Tinge. Canehurst is very blood-oriented, which makes sense, being all vampiric and such. Oh, traded. He does a lot of damage. bulb paper actually ran out. So a couple other fun things this guy can do. He can heal himself, which is great. And he throws those, which prevents you from healing yourself. I think it's called Numbing Mist. Oh! My God. Ah. My lord. Why do you use it twice? That doesn't make you faster. Oh my. Come on, dude. His reach. Look at that. Oh man. I'm gonna give myself some runes to help me out as much as possible. Boost my HP, my defense, etc. What was it again? Oh, I never picked up the lake rune. Okay. I'll have to pick that up. Okay, so I got the lake rune, and I also put on the radiance rune so I can get a tiny bit more HP back when I heal. And I'm also going to be using... Ah, shit, I meant to get more bulb paper. I'm also going to be using some lead elixir, because that strategy has helped in the past, but that kind of is dependent on how much damage you could take. We'll see how it goes. I think it also reduces the damage you take now that I... No! Oh god. That went south so fast. You may be fast, but I am strong. Come on. Yes! Oh, yes! Oh, I'm so cool! Alright. I've been sleeping on lead elixir, dude. That's some good shit. Okay. Pro tip. If you want to beat the Bloody Crow of Canehurst, use the lead elixir. Okay. So, he gives us Blood Rapture. I don't actually remember off the top of my head what that does. Let's see. It's the raw euphoria of the warmth of blood. Restores HP with visceral attacks, one of the darker hunter techniques. Okay, so this is that one. This rune resonates with servants of the Queen, carrier of the Child of Blood, who yearn for their queen's blood with little hope of requitement. For them, they find solace in blood rapture that serves as a surrogate for their desires. So this is obviously referencing the Queen of Canehurst. Also the word requitement, which I had to look this up when I heard it in Dark Souls from Priscilla. Basically, it's just like a mutual feeling, or like reciprocation. I don't know, you can look it up. But also, when you get a rune that is like top tier, because there are basically 3 tiers of each rune. Well, maybe not every rune. I'm not super sure about that. But anyway, for many runes there are 3 tiers. And this is like the highest tier 1, which is indicated by the little yellow light, I guess, in the middle there. So that's the first one of those we've gotten. And now that we've taken care of that son of a gun, we can go tell Eileen.
Don't you ever listen to your elders. No matter. You did save my life. I don't seem to be apt for this life anymore. My glory days were long ago now. I know. Here. For you.
Oh, I thank you. You gave us a badge and a covenant rune, for lack of a better term.
This too is hunter's work, but it bears no honor. A burden you may choose to carry. The decision is yours alone. Oh. My eyes grow heavy. Let me rest a while. I'll be fine. Just wait.
The reassuring words of a dying woman. Rest in peace, Eileen. So she gave us a couple of things. First was a rune, the Hunter rune, which looks very similar to the Hunter's Mark. It gives a very slight boost to stamina recovery. This one and the Radiance rune are probably the best Covenant runes in the base game. I think I tend to prefer Hunter a little bit more. But anyway, this red smudged rune means Hunter and has been adopted by those who have taken the Hunter of Hunters Oath. Oath rune, that's what they're called. These watchmen admonish those who have become addled with blood, be they men or beasts. Anyone who has threatened the pledgers of the Hunter Oath surely has an issue with blood. I'm guessing by that they mean like kind of an addiction. The sort that needs an intervention. The sort of intervention that kills you dead. She also gave us her badge, as she probably didn't have much use for it anymore. Crow Hunter Badge. Badge of a hunter of hunters, who hunts those who have become addled with blood. The badge of the Junta of Hunters is quietly passed down from generation to generation, usually to an outsider from the hinterlands. Interesting. I've never taken notice of this reference to the hinterlands. I'm thinking this is the only place it's ever referenced. Outsider from the hinterlands. Okay, so a bit of cursory research into the definition of hinterlands. I didn't know that it was just a general word. Clearly it's not capitalized here, but it is the often uncharted areas beyond a coastal district or a river's banks. So, sort of beyond the sea, as it were. Or, well, secondary definition, an area lying beyond what is visible or known. So, you know, an outsider from somewhere else, basically, is what that's saying. To be entrusted with this cursed badge, one must be strong, resilient to the seduction of blood, and gracious when taking a comrade's life. As Eileen was. So with this badge, we got a few more goodies in the shop. This episode is long enough already, so we'll return to that. We'll read those next time. For now, I will say goodbye. Have a nice evening. I don't care how your day goes, but I hope that you have a nice evening. And I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, take it easy.